Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show, we're going to talk about how Kamala Harris and these crazy Democrats, if elected, are going to start World War III. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to talk about that today because it's just that serious. How the Democrats and their woke ideology is going to press us into World War III with Kamala Harris. Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, let's get this thing started. You know, this great thinker, his name was Primo Levi. Primo said, monsters exist, but they are too few in number to be fully dangerous. More dangerous are the common men, the functionaries, ready to believe and to act without asking questions. Primo Levi. Monsters exist, but they are too few in number to be truly dangerous. More dangerous are the common men, the functionaries, ready to believe and to act without asking questions. Woo! Boy, that sure enough remind me of people in the Democrat Party. I have a good friend named April Chapman, and April talks a lot about how black people especially has made blackness their God. As long as he black, as long as she black, I'm gonna vote for him. I would like to add to that, as long as they black and they Democrats, I'll vote for him. See, they'll vote for a Democrat. I don't care if he's alive, I don't care if he's dead. It can be dead, it can be black, it can be gay, it can be straight, it can be an atheist. They don't care. And they'll vote for a black Democrat eagerly. Oh, I know that to be true. If you're a black Republican, they might try to kill you. So yeah, Democrats their God, and the black Democrat is their supreme God. Why am I saying this? Well, we got a Democratic Party candidate by the name of Kamala Harris, whatever her name is. Tried to pass for black, couldn't do it. Now she won't say nothing about being black because she's scared she's going to be called on it. As of this taping, I have never seen her father come out and support her. And he's alive. He ain't dead. If he comes out and supports her before this taping comes out, I stand corrected. But for the last 4 years she's been in the White House, I hadn't seen him anywhere. And you know, I got a father that's alive. God bless him. And there's no way that if I was running for president of the United States of America, he wouldn't do all he could to help me. So something just ain't right with this woman. And her running mate, Walls, like I said last week, stone cold, absolute crazy ass pervert. He ain't just a pervert. He a crazy pervert. Why does this matter? It doesn't just matter that they're going to mess up the economy. It doesn't matter that they're just going to mess up the school system. No. These crazy folks going to get us involved in World War III with Vladimir Putin and China. You don't believe me? Let me explain. In my new book, The End of Tolerance, I talk about it. I talk about how these woke, crazy Democrats took over the United States government and decided that they wanted to use it to press their woke ideology all over the world. That was their plan. And you know what, y'all? They've almost got it done. They've been working on it. Like Michael Jackson said, you got me working day and night. They've been working on it day and night. And they are so close. They are so close to destroying this nation, they can taste it. So let me give you a little bit of history about what I'm getting ready to tell you, okay? All right. We're going to go all the way back to 1917. Yeah, that's a long time, isn't it? 1916, the Tsar was in charge in Russia. Tsar Nicholas II. Well, it was Vladimir Lenin. He's ran the Communist Manifesto. He got a group of communists in Russia. They're going to take over the country. Well, the Tsar don't play that. He killed Vladimir Lenin's brother. Vladimir Lenin runs, gets out of town. He's exiled. Walk around with holes in his shoes, this and that and the other, scared to come back home. Well, World War I starts. Lenin is in France. Russia, France is at war. It's going bad for France, and France says, hey, we got an idea. Let's send Lenin back to Russia with some money and have him start up some trouble to get this communist thing going. And sure enough, Lenin goes back and does it, and he starts a civil war in Russia, pulls Russia out of the war. The other side loses. Germany, Russia, all of them lose. Other guys take over. Anyway, make a long story short, Lenin takes over Russia, turns it communist. The communists are atheists. They hate God. They tear down the churches, tear down synagogues, take all the money from the rich, divide it up. Russia becomes a communist nation, and they kill everybody that is in opposition with them. Well, they devised this little thing called the Comintern. And the Comintern's job is to spread communism all over the world because they don't believe that communism can really compete with capitalism. So their job is to take over every country, little by little, bit by bit, step by step. Before they can get this all done, World War II starts. And you got Stalin, who's a communist, and Hitler hates communism. He invades Russia. He tries to take out Stalin. Oh, they fight. They into it. Well, the Japanese invade Pearl Harbor. America and Japan declare war, and then Germany declares war against America. Well, America has this concept that makes sense. He says the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So we join up with the communist, the atheist, totalitarian, crazy communist to take out Hitler. We join forces. We beat Hitler. Immediately after we beat Hitler, the Cold War starts. What is the Cold War? We decided we're not going to let the communists take over any more countries without helping those countries defend themselves against the communists. Why? The communists are atheists. The communists hate God. The communists hate freedom. The communists hate free speech, freedom of religion. They hate it all. And we cannot coexist with them, and they cannot coexist with us. One of us got to go. Well, 1989, the Berlin Wall falls down. Ronald Reagan breaks the communists. We win it. American Christianity and freedom. The Constitution. We win. The whole world now is safe for democracy and Judeo-Christian values. And America is great. Go America, USA, USA, USA. Peace and prosperity is going to go all over the world, right? Yeah. And then we get Barack Obama. And the first thing these jokers did, they said, we got to take out Christianity. How do we do that? We got to get the American people to believe that somehow or another Christianity conflicts with their freedom. See, Americans used to think that if Christianity said you can't do this, it didn't conflict with your freedom. It just told you how to live free. So Christianity didn't believe in racism. So we said we got to eradicate racism because racism is messing with our freedom. Christianity didn't say that you don't treat people with love, respect, and dignity. It doesn't say that. So America was always trying to live up to those Judeo-Christian values. So what did Barack Obama and the Democrats say? We got to make people believe that Christianity is in conflict with their freedom. How do we do that? Well, we got to say that abortion is a right. Abortion is an extension of freedom. Baby, to kill your children is an extension of your freedom. And if Christianity is in conflict with that, then we got to put Christianity to the side. We got to get people to believe that LGBTQ and homosexuality and gay marriage is part of your freedom. And if Christianity conflicts with that, you got to set Christianity to the side. And people started buying it. We got to get people to believe that climate change and us controlling the weather is an extension of your freedom. And if Christianity said that God doesn't say no, man doesn't bow to the earth bows to man. It's have a conflict. You gotta set Christianity to the side. See how slick that was? So the Supreme Court comes out and says gay marriage is okay. It's a conflict with Christianity, but hey, it's a freedom, right? Climate change, okay. Having people pray in the public square offends some people, so it's a conflict with their freedom, so Christianity has to be placed aside. But something weird is happening over on the other side of the pond. The Soviet Union is expanding Christianity. Vladimir Putin finds out his nation is dying. Vladimir says, we got to start expanding freedoms. We got to expand Christianity. We got to stop all this LGBTQ stuff. We got to stop all this climate change stuff because it's destroying our nation. And he looked at America and saw America was dying. And America said they didn't care. You know why? Because they don't care about that. These people are involved in what you call the depopulation movement. Yeah, depopulation. That means that they want to see people die. That's why they are fiending so hard to kill babies. That's why they're fiending so hard to have people die of drug overdoses and the family destroyed, all of that. Well, Putin says, not over here. So Western Europe starts. And then Western Europe starts bankrolling American politicians that believe the same thing. And the one politician they saw was Barack Obama. Oh, they love some Obama. Put him on top, and Barack did not let them down. Well, they got America, and they got Western Europe. And then they said, we're going to go east. We're going to go into Russia. And this is when it gets interesting. In my book, my new book, The End of Tolerance, I talk about this Washington Post story that tells about what happened. On May 6, 2024, Robin Dixon wrote in the Washington Post a story warning America that falling behind this cabal of perverts, liars, and psychopaths and anti-Christian bigots in the Democratic Party is leading America into a world war with two superpowers, Russia and China. This is the story. She said, just before ordering what he believed would be a short war on the Ukraine, Putin published a little notice decree billed as vital to Russia's national security. It called for urgent measures to protect traditional Russian spiritual and moral values and named the United States as a direct threat. Threats to traditional values come from extremist and terrorist organizations, some news media, and communication platforms, the actions of the United States and other unfriendly foreign nations. That's what he said. That's what the order stated. A key goal, it said, was to position the Russian state on the international stage as a custodian and defender of traditional, universal, spiritual, and moral values. That used to be the United States of America, didn't it? Now it's Russia. To carry out this transformation, the Kremlin is, this is what the Kremlin is doing now, is forging an ultra-conservative, puritanical society mobilized against liberal freedoms and especially hostile to gay and transgender people, in which family and policy and social welfare spending boosts traditional orthodox values. Curbing access to abortion, sterilizing cultural life with blacklists of liberal writers, directors, artists, and filmmakers. Now, this is when it really gets interesting. Putin's description of the West, which is America's part of the West, Putin's description of the West as satanic and the war as sacred are increasingly echoed by officials in the Russian Orthodox Church. Quote, we can see what is taking place in some countries where moral standards and the family are being deliberately destroyed and entire nations are pushed to extinction and decadence, he said. We have chosen life. Russia has been and remains a stronghold of traditional values on which human civilization stands. It is a crusade that gives Putin common cause with China's Xi Jinping. Now listen to this. Gives Putin common cause with Xi Jinping as well as some supporters of former President Donald Trump. And it raises the prospect as an enduring civilizational conflict to subvert Western democracy. And Putin has warned, even threatened, a new world war. So y'all thought I was just talking, didn't you? The man has threatened a new world war. Y'all, Russia has thousands of nuclear weapons. China has thousands of nuclear weapons. Both of these countries are dying, and they're saying we're trying to bring the family back, traditional moral values back. Russia says we're trying to bring Christianity back, and they're calling America Satan. You know why? They look at our nation. Men can marry men, women can marry women. Our birth rate, we need to have 2.1% in order to replace ourselves, and we're at 1.6%. Been there for the last 7 years. The nation is dying, but these perverts and liars said, full speed ahead. A freak show. A death cult. Go where they rule. John F. Kennedy stood in front of the Berlin Wall and said, the people that try to say that communism is great, let them come to Berlin. Well, I say for the people that think that the Democratic Party is great, let them come to Chicago. Let them go to Detroit. Let them go to St. Louis. Let them go to LA. Let them go to Philadelphia. Let them go to Milwaukee. Everywhere they rule. Death, murder, mayhem, destruction, all around. And now they're trying to spread it further and further and further, and countries are pushing back. We had this program, PREFAR. It's what it was called. It's an acronym of the program to stop AIDS in Africa. George W. Bush started it. Saved 25 million lives. We were giving free AIDS medication to African people to stop AIDS from spreading all over Africa. And it, very, very great program. It worked very well. Well, Joe Biden came in and found out about it. And he found out that many of the African countries that we were giving the money to didn't allow LGBTQ and abortion. So he started telling them, if you don't allow LGBTQ and abortion, you can't have this money no more. We're going to let you die. And the African countries said, what? It's against our religion. A lot of them are Muslim. Many of them are really Christian. They said, we don't care. Kill your babies. Turn your back on God. Or you don't get anything from the United States of America. And guess who came and filled that void? There you go. Vladimir Putin and Russia said, we got you. China, with the Belt and Road Initiative, we got you. And they're pushing America out. So now what did America do? America goes into Ukraine. Putin says Ukraine is right next door to Russia. A lot of people there are Russian. Stay out. Ukraine wants to get into NATO. Well, they already got to the EU, and they said, well, in order to get into the EU, you got to have a gay march, a gay pride parade in Kiev. And they did it. And the Russian Orthodox Church got mad. Vladimir Putin said, stay out. Zelensky said, I want to get into NATO. Putin said, I've told you no further. Signed the Minsk agreement, told him no further. They said, we're going to come into Ukraine and we're going to make it just like the United States of America. We're going to have men marrying men and women marrying women. We're going to do the climate change thing. We're going to do it all. And we're going to keep on going, Vladimir, until we take over the whole world. They've turned into the Comintern. The Democratic Party has turned into what the Communist Party was in Russia. They're taking over every country, step by step, for their liberal, insane, atheist agenda. And Russia has warned World War III, if the United States, well, the Democrats in the United States of America continue. This is why it's so important that you keep that crazy Kamala and that lunatic pervert Tim Walz out of the White House. Because the perverts that control the Democratic Party are going to demand that they keep going further. They're not going to stop because, see, they win either way. If they destroy America, they win. And if they take over Vladimir Putin and the East, they win. These people hate America. They're the ones that burn the flags, y'all. They're the ones that hate the Constitution. They're the ones that hate Christianity. They're the ones that hate anybody that even says they love America. They're the ones that kneel when the Star Spangled Banner is played. They're the ones that won't go to war to defend this country. They hate this country. As Barack Obama said, their job is to transition it into something that it never ever was. Their job is to turn us into a genderless, mindless, stoop-shouldered beast. And if they keep on jugging at Vladimir Putin, if they keep on jugging at Xi Jinping, if they keep on messing with these African nations, they're going to lash back. And Kamala Harris and that crazy pervert Walz are controlled by this cabal of lunatics on the left. These are a bunch of trust fund babies that never had to work a day in their life. Now they've inherited the family money. And they haven't earned it. You know, the Disneys and the Pritzkers and all these people, they're crazy. And they take all this money and they give it to the Democrats, but they only give it to the crazy jokers that run for office. And they win these primaries, and now they're running the whole show. They're an insane asylum. Men in dresses, women taking hormones, atheists, baby rapers. Dang, man. This is a serious podcast, y'all, because it can't be made funny. I don't think I've made a joke in it. Because you have to know what's at stake and why it's at stake here. Their job is to use the government of the United States of America, the most powerful entity in the world. Man, we got guns, we got missiles. This is what they're doing with Ukraine right now. They're giving Ukraine everything they need just to try to beat Russia into the ground because the LGBTQ, climate change, atheist people hate Russia. Because Russia will not allow them to debase their people. They hate them. Are you saying that Vince Ellison up here taking up for Vladimir Putin? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just telling you this, that the Democratic Party and the political left over here is exactly what Vladimir Putin said. They are satanic. You see how they left the people in Afghanistan? People had fought for us and helped us for 20 years. And how when it came time to help them out. They just left them over there to die. Let the Taliban just shoot them, kill them all. You see what he did with Iran? We had Iran almost starved to death. Hamas, Hezbollah, none of those terrorist groups could even strike a match, much less throw bombs at Israel or anyone else. But then we started letting them sell. But then Biden and Harris let them start selling oil again. See what happened? They gave Hezbollah and Hamas as many weapons as they need, and now they've been raising hell over there ever since. World is on fire. Anybody that believes in God, they hate. Anyone that believes in the Christian God, they cannot stand. Anyone that stands up for Judeo-Christian values, they want to destroy. I brought this up before, and I think it'll be good to bring it up again. It's this great book called No Country for Old Men. The Coen brothers made a movie off of it about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer, and it got Best Picture. The movie was about this cowboy who was out hunting, and he ran up on a drug deal gone wrong. A lot of dead men, dead Rottweilers laying around, trucks and cars just on fire. He walked over to see what was happening, and he saw that the money was still there, a whole big sack full of money. And he took it. But the cartels had put this crazy man, set him out to find his money. And all of this violence took place. This violence. It was a period piece depicted in the early 1970s, before the drug epidemic in America got very, very bad. And this was a small Texas town. And this was a small town sheriff who got hooked up in all of this, trying to stop this violence. And at the end of the movie, after seeing what he had seen, he had to resign his post. It troubled him too bad. And then one of his old friends asked him, why did he quit?
Loretta tells me you're quitting. How come you're doing that?
He said he was overmatched. He said it wasn't what he would have to do in order to stop this violence. It's what he'd have to become. And what he'd have to become would put his soul at hazard. And he wouldn't do that. I said all that to say this. It is not what you have to do to become a Democrat. It's what you have to become one. You have to become a murderer of children. You'd have to become a person that wanted to castrate little boys and call them little girls, and cut the breasts off little girls and call them little boys, give puberty blockers to little girls, and they never have children ever again. You have to be a person who wanted to lock children in failing school so they can never ever learn to read or write, and they have to live in poverty for the rest of their lives. You have to be a freak that wants to rape children. You have to be an idiot or a nincompoop that believes that he can control the weather, climate change. You have to be an atheist that didn't believe in God. You have to become an immoral, genderless, godless beast, sulking and walking on all fours like an animal. Because that's exactly who these people are. No virtue, no morals, leading us into World War III. It is absolutely, positively necessary for you to understand that by voting for these people, you're putting everything in jeopardy. God will take his hands off of this country because we will have chosen to reject him. As the great C.S. Lewis says, hell is a choice. And if you choose these satanic people over God, he'll let you have them. Just like he did the rich young ruler. He didn't run after him. He walked away softly. But I believe we're going to stand. I believe we're going to rise to the occasion. I believe that we're going to stand as Americans and say, no, 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 we know who we are. We know who our country is. We know where we came from. And we're not going to let these pack of perverts and liars and psychopaths turn us away from our destiny. We're going to turn them back around. And we're going to show not just what it is to be an American. We're going to show what it is to be a true heir of Jesus Christ, a true child of God, and a true free man. All of this is in my new book, The End of Tolerance. Go buy it. Make it my fourth number one. Now let's turn these bastards back. My friends, my name is Vince Everett Ellison, and I am here to wake you up. Hope I did you some good today. Join me again next week for the Vince Everett Ellison Show.